Match problem 4 may be a little bit easier to solve if we first start by rewriting this as the integral from 2 to 5 of 6 minus t to the negative 1/2 dt. So the reason I like to rewrite that is because then it's a little easier to recognize that my interior function is just 6 minus t versus thinking that that interior function is the square root of 6 minus t. So if we look at it this way, this looks like 1 over x. Square root of 6 minus t would be that interior function. But when we rewrite it, it's a little bit clearer that what we have is some function being raised to the negative 1/2 power. So we'll let u equal 6 minus t, which means u equals negative 1 dt. All we have to swap out here is dt, so we'll let u over negative 1 equal dt. Or du, I'm sorry, that should be du, because here we're taking the derivative of both sides. So our new integral becomes the integral from x equals 2 to x equals 5. And again, I'm just including that to kind of note to myself that I'm rewriting this in terms of u, but I'll have to rewrite it in terms of x at the end of the problem. So the integral of u to the negative 1/2 times du over negative 1. Or bringing that negative 1 out front, this is the opposite of, or negative 1 times the integral of x equals 2 to x equals 5 of u to the negative 1/2 du. So that will be negative u to the 1/2 over 1/2 plus some constant c, but again with definite integrals, those will always cancel out. Evaluated from x equals 2 to x equals 5, or negative 2 u to the 1/2, evaluated from x equals 2 to x equals 5. So we still need to replace u now with that original expression. Oh, and I just caught on that I was doing something that I tend to do, mixing up my variables. So this original problem was in terms of t. I started writing x's here. So each of those should actually be a t, not an x. So my apologies there, but I tend to do that when I'm talking through a problem at the same time I'm writing it. So now we want to replace u in terms of with this original expression that we substituted out. So this would be negative 2 times 6 minus t to the 1/2. And now we need to evaluate that from t, not x, so from t equals 2 to t equals 5. So that'll be negative 2 times 6 minus 5 will be 1. So 6 times the square root of 1 minus negative 2 times 6 minus 2 will be 4. So times the square root of 4 is going to give us negative 2 plus 4, or just 2 as our final result.